whereabouts should contact Atlanta police. Well, now it's middle schoolers who will have their use of personal devices cut back when Fulton County schools return for the fall.
Such as laptops, cell phones, Google Glasses, Apple Watches for use during instructional time.
Chief Communications Officer Brian Noyes says the rule has already been in place for the past year for elementary school students in the county. The student code of conduct will include middle school students as well. He says it puts the county in line with a recently passed state law that's set to take effect next year. It's a change in policy for MARTA and how to handle bus riders looking for a free ride.
Bus drivers are told when to use the fare evasion button. MARTA says the reporting system allows operators to remain informers, not enforcers, when it comes to collecting a fare. When the button is pushed, an alert goes out to MARTA police, who can pinpoint the bus and handle the incident from there. If someone does walk past the fare box without paying, drivers should not call them back and will instead proceed along their route. Drivers can also alert police if a homeless person takes over a bus shelter or bus stop. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
The Atlanta Beltline Board has a road to completion now, and it's approved a $242 million budget for the next fiscal year. CEO and President Clyde Higgs says while the trail remains about 5 years from completion, most of the 22-mile loop should be ready when the World Cup comes to town.
This time next year, we'll have 85% of the Beltline completed.
And he says it's the largest budget ever approved by the board. $40 million of it is being allocated for affordable housing. An addiction to technology may be a bigger risk for children than just screen time.
The study in the medical journal JAMA followed 4,000 10-year-olds. Half of them became addicted to their phones by age 14. Lead author Dr. Yunyu Xiao says those kids were 2 to 3 times more likely to have thoughts of suicide, even if their screen time was relatively low.
Now, Michael George reports researchers believe limiting screen time may not be enough. Some kids who are addicted to phones or video games may need psychotherapy to get past it. It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show with Shelley Winter begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And we start with triple team traffic. Here's Smiler Mark McKay.
West side perimeter is much improved now. Judd, earlier this morning, tractor trailer went on its side of the ramp from 285 eastbound to 75 north exit 20. I still see on the Jam Cam crews working on the shoulder there. So nothing more than a tap of the brakes, but it is starting to loosen up as you head north towards Smyrna Vinings and the Battery, Truist Park, and headed south on I-75. Quite the sight. Big rig on its side. They started that cleanup operation just after 3 o'clock this morning. They're doing it on the shoulder of I-75 southbound at Delk Road, exit 261. Still watching quite the brake light battle into downtown Atlanta. Ashley Frasca.
The slowest it's been all morning long on this holiday. 75-85 northbound, a little crowded up from University Avenue, trying to clear Freedom Parkway toward Peachtree Pine Street. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, high 89, but watching for a line of thunderstorms to roll through this afternoon. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts, lows tonight in the low 70s. Drying out tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 91. Sunshine and turning hotter for Saturday, high 92.
Storm Tracker radar shows some of the stronger storms now in extreme northwest Georgia, slowly trying to move into our area. Not here yet, though. Right now, it is 72 degrees in South Fulton, 72 in Stone Mountain, 74 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
People of Texas, this city is now occupied by the armed forces of the United States, and as such is subject to General Orders number 100, dated April 24th, 1863, War Department. To wit, it is my duty to inform you of the following. June 19th, 1865, General Orders number 3, Headquarters, District of Texas, Galveston, Texas. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages by order Major General Granger.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. Happy Juneteenth. Today is June 19th. It is officially a holiday. Many people are out. We'll get to that later on who's out and why. But I did want to start off with General Order number 3. What is cut off there, which you do not hear, that was a reenactment in Texas by Civil War reenactors, and that was a Union soldier playing General Granger, Major General Granger, Gordon Granger, who informed the people of Texas that all enslaved people were now free on June 19th, 1865, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued by President Lincoln, 2 years later. But there's a sentence in there that's very important. They are informed. After he says the freed men are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. The next sentence is they are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness, either there or elsewhere. And that sentence is such a powerful sentence. Juneteenth is the celebration of this moment in history. June 19th, 1865, 2,000 Union soldiers led by U.S. Major General Gordon Granger went to Galveston, Texas to inform those enslaved Africans that they were now free. Actually, they had been free since 1863, 2 years ago. And they were just finding out. That's the celebration. It's been going on. It's the longest African-American celebration in this country because from 1863 up until the present time in that part of the country, Juneteenth has been celebrated. Here in Atlanta, my good friend Bob Johnson has been celebrating Juneteenth for the last 20 years. Joe Biden made it a federal holiday. So that's why many of your coworkers are not at work today. That's why your company may be closed today, because it is a federal holiday. And it's an important federal holiday. Because this country, slavery was legal for 246 years, from 1619, when the first Africans were brought to this country. They were initially indentured servants, and they were eventually made into slaves. So 246 years, 1619 to 1865, slavery was legal. In other words, the things that we talk about when we talk about, well, you're breaking the law, you broke the law. Well, it was legal. You know, when a lot of people start screaming, well, you broke the law, you should get in trouble. No one's above the law. Well, if you harbored an enslaved African at that time, you were breaking the law. So 246 years. And this is an important holiday. And my message to everyone listening today. Again, my name is Shelley Winter. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm filling in for Mark Aram. I apologize for taking so long to get to that. But if you're listening to me right now, understand this. If you're an African American who thinks Juneteenth is an exclusive holiday to African Americans, you would be wrong. If you're a white American or non-African American, and you think Juneteenth is a silly holiday, you also would be wrong. This holiday is a celebration of what America truly is. This holiday is a celebration of what real freedom looks like. It may take, in this case, it took 2 years to get the news to the slave owners in Texas knew about the Emancipation Proclamation. And many slaveholding states and people took their slaves to Texas because the message had not gotten to them and they kept it from the people. They knew it was passed in 1863. They knew what was going on in Texas, the slave owners, but they kept it from the people. But this is truly an American holiday because it shows the possibility of what could be. Many of those people in Texas thought they would never see freedom, and it happened. And it took Union soldiers, not an African American amongst them, to come with a general order saying, yo, man, you're free. Now you can start demanding wages for the work you're doing. Oh, but there had to be instructions. You will not be supported in idleness. So, yes, you could have been 40 years old in Texas in 1865, and you could have been working for free from sunup to sundown with no days off except for Sunday. But don't be idle. Don't take a vacation. Don't say, I'm free. Woo, I'm going to chill a couple days before I start working again for money. No, 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 we can't have that. But this holiday is for everyone. It really, really is. And if I'm to politicize this, this is truly a Republican holiday and should be celebrated by every single Republican out there, because it was the Republican Party that did the Emancipation Proclamation. It was the Republican Party that sent General Granger to Texas. So if you're a Republican, you should especially be proud of this holiday, unless you're not a real Republican and you're something different. You just call yourself a Republican. This holiday is truly American, and it should be celebrated as such. No, it's not July 4th. It's not that. No, it's not necessarily a Memorial Day. But it's not President's Day either. This is a very important American holiday, and all Americans should celebrate Juneteenth, because it shows just what this country is capable of. Is it capable of the bad? Yes, but it's totally, totally capable, and has shown over the course of hundreds of years that is completely capable of fixing and correcting the bad, which makes it the greatest country that has ever graced this planet Earth. Yes, we can make mistakes. Yes, we can do the wrong thing. But we will self-correct in every situation. And that's what Juneteenth represents to everybody. It's not exclusively a holiday to the African-American community. And anybody that tells you as such is wrong. And it's not a holiday that whites should say, oh, it's not about me. It certainly is. If you're an American citizen, it totally is about you. General Order number 3. An historic day in this country, a day finally when every enslaved African in the U.S. was then free. The Emancipation Proclamation was issued 2 years before. It took 2 years to get to Texas, 2 full years. People in Texas worked for free as enslaved Africans for 2 full years while everyone else was free. That's to be celebrated, not the part that they worked the extra time, that the Union soldiers, 2,000 of them, marched across the country. There were no cars, there were no trains, there were just horses and feet to tell those people, those enslaved Africans in Galveston, Texas, and in the state of Texas, hey, man, you are now free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. 1865. June 19th, 1865. And that same year, the 13th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, officially abolishing slavery throughout the United States. After a lengthy war and hundreds of thousands of dead fought against each other, one side to keep it going, the other side to get rid of it. That's how great this country is, because we fix those things which are problematic and wrong and morally wrong. And that's why I love this country. And that's why you should be celebrating Juneteenth today. Get out there, learn something, do something, help somebody, learn about our history. Don't just sit by the pool in a subdivision with the kids playing in the pool. Say, I'm off today. This is a very important holiday for America. And before we go out of this segment, I want to play for you a snippet of the Emancipation Proclamation.
Whereas on the 22nd day of September, A.D. 1862, a proclamation was issued by the President of the United States containing, among other things, the following, to wit, that on the first day of January A.D. 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free. And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will do no act or acts to repress such persons, or any of them, in any efforts they may make for their actual freedom. And I further declare and make known that such persons of suitable condition will be received into the armed service of the United States to garrison forts, positions, stations, and other places, and to man vessels of all sorts in said service. And upon this act, sincerely believed to be an act of justice, warranted by the Constitution upon military necessity, I invoke the considerate judgment of mankind and the gracious favor of Almighty God.
Let's go check traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
Morning, Shelley. It's 9:17, and we are seeing delays through Cobb County from a crash that played out right in front of our eyes on the jam cam at 3 o'clock this morning. Big rig went on its side. I still see the trailer on the shoulder and crews with it, so you'll see it as you roll 75 southbound, approaching Delk Road, exit 261. Tap of the brakes there. And a secondary tractor-trailer crash cleanup continues near the ballpark. This is the ramp from 285 east to 75 north, exit 20. That ramp has been open for a while. Those west side perimeter delays improving, leaving South Cobb Drive. Still crews are working on that right shoulder. This report sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Save at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off. No antibiotics ever. 80% lean ground beef with Prime through June 24th while supplies last. Shop in-store, online. Terms apply. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
When news breaks.
Israel strikes Iran's nuclear sites and military leaders while Iran counters with drones.
We've got it covered.
The president encourages Iran to, quote, make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire.
Tune in often for the latest.
If there are any of these groups in the United States, I can pretty much guarantee you they've been infiltrated by the FBI.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
I absolutely love baseball hats. I probably own over 100 of them. I just like the way they look. I like the way they feel. But I don't need to wear a hat. I choose to wear a hat. It's Mark Aaron back from my good friends at Advanced Hair. I know a lot of guys listening, you don't always want to wear your hat, but you do because you're a little not confident of what's going on top of your head, whether it's a receding hairline or bald spot. Your default is, all right, let's throw on a hat and take care of the situation. Time for you to take care of the situation for real with my friends at Advanced Hair. It takes just one visit, but first you need a free consultation, guys. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, check this out. You get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. Wow. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow, and you don't need to wear a hat every day. Check it out online at advancedhair.com, advancedhair.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place, you know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show here. Right now, Beaver Toyota is loaded with fresh inventory. They have the perfect Toyotas for your summer adventures, from road trips with your buddies to family trips to the beach, and they're offering huge savings, low financing, and all the Beaver benefits. See them on the web at beavertoyotacumming.com. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming, the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum on this Juneteenth federal holiday. Let me go to William first, and then I want to end my Juneteenth commentary with a little humor. Go ahead, William.
Hey, Shelby, how are you doing today?
I'm good, William.
Hey, I was telling the young man, I was a little frustrated with the Juneteenth celebration. The fervor came about from the Trump speech back in Oklahoma City. And a lot of lefties went over to that side, and they said this man's egregious. I'm frustrated because 8 out of 10 of the blacks that I know, and I've questioned, and it's actually more about trying to be liberal, don't know the actual emancipation date, which we should have known way before the Juneteenth celebration came about. And it just seems there's another, like, pacifying the black community, you know, just giving that holiday. And we didn't learn anything from it. It came from some animosity and anger. It didn't come from actually knowing, didn't come from actual pride.
Right.
If we had pride, we would already been taught.
Great call.
Sorry.
Great call, William. No, great call. I'm ringing the bell for you. Great call. When Biden issued the federal holiday, nothing else came with it. It's just a holiday. Okay, we did something for your vote. You got something. Keep it moving. Great call, my friend. Have a great holiday today.
You too. Thank
yes,
you,
sir.
Dave.
He's right. He's not wrong. I feel the same way. People have been celebrating this. Oh, we gave you a federal holiday. And that's one of the things people tout during the election. They touted about Joe Biden. Well, they gave you a federal holiday. So speaking of that, let me explain to you how this federal holiday impacts me. So for those of you who don't know or may not know, I'm Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum. And today's Juneteenth. I happen to be African-American, happen to be conservative. Longoria is working here with me. He's minority. Vinny is here working with me. Deborah Green's here working with me. All minorities on this whole show. We're all at work today. Not to say that Longoria and Deborah Green, but we're all minorities. We're all at work. There are four major talkers on this station. Myself, Eric Von Hessler, Eric Erickson, and Mark Arum. Of the four, I'm the only African American. This is a great thing, right? It's wonderful. I'm not complaining. I love it here. But on Juneteenth, two of the four are off, and they're both white. Mark Arum and Eric Von Hessler. They're off today. Magic Mike, my producer this evening, he'll be at work today. He's African American. And I just find it hilarious that I'm here working on Juneteenth, a federal holiday, filling in for my good brother Mark Arum. And here comes my program director. But it's too late. But I'm here. I love it. I just wanted to point that out. I'm here with you. You're here with me, the Jewish guy. He's here with me. Go ahead, pull up the microphone. Ken Charles, the program director, turn on his microphone.
I'm here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there are 4 of us here, and 2 of the 4 white, they're off today. And I'm thinking, I'm here working. I love it. I'm happy about it. But I just think it's kind of, ironic, if you will. And here's why.
But I'm here with you.
Yeah, okay, so here's why.
Not in solidarity. I'm here because the man is making me work too.
A man. You're the man. But listen. This is the last.
This man got a man.
This is the last sentence in General Order number 3, and this is why I'm at work today. I'm in true celebration of Juneteenth.
You're at work today because I told you to be at work today.
This is true. But this is why I'm at work, right? True celebration. True celebration of Juneteenth. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect and military posts, and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. So, by order, General Order number 3, ordered by U.S. Major General Gordon Granger in 1865, I am made to be at work today because I shall not be idle in my freedom.
And thank God you're not in the military, so that part's good too.
My man.
You know why you're here? Because you're committed to your audience to entertain them regardless of what's going on in their personal life.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm not going to get fired now. Let's go. Let's go. We'll be right back. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. Happy Juneteenth.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. We are here with the owners and experts, Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum. So Ted, you guys have some incredibly exciting news to share with people looking for window and door replacement.
Yes, we do. We were blessed to move to a bigger, better location, and that makes window and door shopping so simple for our customers. The new location's already helping make our business more efficient, and everyone loves the Infinity from Marvin experience, where you could see for yourself the fiberglass difference side by side compared with other types of windows like vinyl composites.
What can someone expect when they visit your beautiful new Alpharetta showroom?
First of all, expect to meet some of the most educated window and door experts in the business. Our people really make a big difference. They are the very best in the industry. And we have so many window and door styles on display that you can see the difference in quality for yourself. Our showroom also includes some of the newest technological advances available in windows and doors.
Now, do you need an appointment for a showroom consultation, or can I just drop by?
You can just drop by. We're open Monday through Saturday, and we'd like to personally invite you to schedule a time to meet with someone at our showroom, or we'll bring samples to you for an in-home appointment. The showroom really makes it easy for you. Stop by and see the beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows in person. They'll improve your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. And we promise a stress-free experience, including a quick, accurate proposal without the pressure or pricing games.
And right now, it's time to jump into June savings at North Georgia Replacement Windows. You'll get 15% off your project, plus 36 months no interest with equal payments. Hurry, these offers will end 6/30/25. Visit the new amazing showroom in Alpharetta, and be sure to visit us online at ngwindows.com. ngwindows.com.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story updating Israel at war. Iran and Israel once again trade airstrikes this morning and through the overnight, including Iranian missiles that hit the largest hospital in southern Israel and a high-rise apartment complex in Tel Aviv. Israeli strikes have targeted Iran's nuclear and military facilities. Israel's defense minister announcing this morning that Iran's supreme leader should no longer exist. Meanwhile, President Trump's reportedly approved a plan for U.S. airstrikes against Iran, but has yet to greenlight the attack.
In case the U.S. does strike, sources who were briefed about a potential response tell CBS News that Iran is preparing missiles and equipment to attack U.S. bases in the region.
And correspondent Weijia Jiang says Iran has already threatened to respond in force if the U.S. gets more involved. in the conflict. It's 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we'll likely see a line of storms roll in from the west this afternoon. It could stick with us in the metro area into the evening. Today's high will once again flirt with 90 degrees. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Looking at this morning's jobs numbers from the State Labor Department, which shows Georgia's unemployment rate fell in May. The rate is down 1/10 point to 3.5% after holding steady for almost a year. Now that's 7/10 lower than the national rate. Jobs also hit an all-time high of almost 5 million. 3 sectors had record employment in May: financial activities, healthcare and social assistance, and government. Well, today is Juneteenth, the federal holiday honoring the end of slavery.
Even though Abraham Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation over 2 years prior, it was not until June 19, 1865, word reached some slaves in Texas they were free from bondage. The federal holiday was declared in 2021.
This is something that should be celebrated by all Americans. For me, it unofficially marked the beginning of what I would call freedom season from Juneteenth to July 4th.
Atlanta City Council member Michael Julian Bond says a number of events are planned across the city today. Sandy Springs and Smyrna have programs at 5 p.m. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta Crime Stoppers ups the reward for information, leading to more arrests in the drive-by shooting of a 12-year-old boy. Sergeant Demetrius Campbell says one man's already in custody, but more people were involved in Janilan Gregg's death.
We are increasing this reward to up to $15,000, really with the hopes that someone with the knowledge of this case will just come forward and do the right thing.
The boy was playing in his yard when a group of people started shooting at one another at the retreat at Greenbrier Apartments in southwest Atlanta. And intermittent fasting gets a big thumbs up. It's a good way to lose weight.
An analysis published by the British Medical Journal showed the method can be just as effective as diets that cut calories when it comes to weight loss. In intermittent fasting, people avoid eating for periods ranging from 16 hours to 2 days.
Reporter Michael George says the study also finds that alternating days of fasting is more effective than other types of the fasting diet. It is 9:33. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Smiler Mark McKay.
We had not one but 2 big rigs go over, Judd, not too far from Truist Park, and the cleanup continues with both of those scenes. The one on the jam cam that I see at Delk Road is working on the shoulder. Trailer still on its side and causing a bit of a slowdown. I-75 southbound as you leave the South Merida Parkway. That crash scene is on the shoulder at Delk Road, exit 261. Second one is where I-285 meets I-75 at the ramp. Crews are working on the right side of the ramp from 285 east, the interloop to 75 north, exit 20, keeping you slow back at South Cobb Drive. Seeing slowing out of Sandy Springs, maybe a crash along the way as you roll 285 westbound past Roswell Road, exit 25. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, high 89. Watching for a line of thunderstorms to roll through. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts that can knock down a tree or two. Then drying out for tonight, lows in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot with a high of 91. Heating up to the low to mid 90s for the rest of this weekend.
Storm Tracker radar shows some of those storms starting to enter northwest Georgia, but still well north of the metro Atlanta area. It is 78 degrees right now in Stockbridge, 75 in Woodstock, 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
It's the only way to do any kind of reform of the federal government.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I don't remember it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Who are you speaking for?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up in 2 minutes on the Mark Aram Show, I'm Shelley Winter filling in for Mark. NBC News and WSB Radio national correspondent Rory O'Neill joins me to talk about Israel. We will be right back.
Only inches separate you from the heavy rain pounding on your roof. Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix It Show, here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Water is your home's #1 enemy, and your roof is your front line of defense to stop it from getting inside. Has your old roof finally lost the battle against all this recent heavy rain? If water has made its way into your home, think of Findlay first. They've replaced over 65,000 roofs locally, all with high-quality work, upfront pricing, and exceptional service. You'll always win with Findlay. You'll never have to worry about them cutting corners. With over 30 years of experience, Findlay goes the distance. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof experience. Are you seeing water inside or just not sure how well your roof is holding up after all this recent rain? Schedule a free roof analysis. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
With 5 miles of private beach and endless outdoor activities, Sea Island is summer at its best. Book today at SeaIsland.com/summer and enjoy 30% off August stays plus a $250 resort credit. Terms and conditions apply.
First impressions matter, especially in the summer. Wise Guys Pro Wash will make sure your home makes the right impression. Soft wash, safe results, and zero hassle. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your home, driveway, deck, or roof wash. Book at wiseguysprowash.com.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. I appreciate being here. I'll be here till 12 noon. My show normally airs 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And for the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, Alan Sanders will be filling in for me. So I had a chance to talk to NBC News and WSB Radio national correspondent, Rory O'Neill. And we talked about what the latest news in Israel and the Israel-Iran war and what's going on there. And here it is.
Yeah, still an awful lot of moving parts. For on the ground in Israel, they are responding after an Iranian missile hit a hospital in southern Israel. Now, the Iranian military is claiming they were aiming for a technology park next door that supplies weaponry to the Israeli military. But this missile strike did serious damage to this hospital in Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu and top military leaders from Israel are already promising retribution. So let's see what happens with that. On the other side, Israel has been continuing its strikes into Iran, said it would intensify them in response to the attack on the hospital and a missile that struck just outside Tel Aviv. So they're stepping up their assaults on those nuclear sites, those nuclear development sites that are all across Iran. And, of course, the X factor that most Americans care about most, what's President Trump going to do? And as he said, he still hasn't made up his mind yet, and it's going to be a game day decision about whether or not the U.S. gets involved to aid Israel more directly in these attacks on Iran.
The Ayatollah had spoken about a big day of retribution, attacking a hospital. I know they're trying to cover down for the attack on a hospital, but that seems to be an escalation. What is the White House or seeing the attack on the hospital as?
Yeah, I think that's still a bit unclear whether or not they missed and hit the hospital instead of the technology park. We know that Iran's got good weapons, but not necessarily the most accurate, especially with the elaborate defense that Israel has. So, you know, the fact that this strike hit in the hospital, injuring dozens of people, it really has changed the tone a little bit here. The Israeli health minister saying earlier today that, quote, a red line has been crossed, unquote, by this strike. So they're expecting a significant response by Israel.
Do you think this is going to change any kind of thinking on the White House's part because a hospital was hit?
I don't know specifically. And look, there's the bigger question of, is this operation an effort to stop Iran's nuclear program, or is this operation an effort to change the leadership, regime change for the country of Iran? Because you can take out these nuclear programs, but if the same people are in charge, then they're just going to be continued somewhere down the line.
Absolutely. That's such an excellent point to make. If it is regime change, does that then allow President Trump a little political cover within the, split MAGA over this, over us getting more involved? Do you think that allows for a little bit more agreement with President Trump if he does enter into this fray more directly?
Well, then that opens the question of why now? Why are we doing this now? We've heard from Prime Minister Netanyahu and from President Trump, who both think that Iran was very close to getting a nuclear weapon, but other agencies, even our own intelligence agencies and the Director of National Intelligence testified earlier this year, they think that Iran was still years away from getting a nuclear weapon. And they've been showing video of Benjamin Netanyahu saying that Iran was weeks from a nuclear weapon. And the video is from 2015. So for more than a decade now, Netanyahu has been on this tear that Iran is moments away from having a nuclear weapon, and that's unacceptable. So there's still this intelligence question that's out there, and it sort of reminds you what happened with the Iraq War, and did Saddam Hussein have weapons of mass destruction and all that back and forth. Well, why are we doing this now if we're not exactly sure how close Iran was to getting that weapon?
And to your point, I want to ask you this. What is the Washington, D.C., the White House, and others saying, or around the White House, what are they saying about Tulsi Gabbard, who has been talking, saying much of what you just reported on, has been saying that for a while now. She's been frozen out by the more I say hawkish members of the administration. What are we hearing about that?
Well, right. And we're seeing that divide as well within the Trump supporting team, even
Absolutely.
the MAGA movement, as they call it, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world and other Tucker Carlson, much more conservative about this. They don't want to get the U.S. swept up into something. Look, we know we can blow that bunker out of the sky or under the ground. That's not the issue. The problem is, what's next? How does Iran respond? Do they attack our assets there in the Middle East? Did they close the Strait of Hormuz and suddenly we are now paying $8, $9 a gallon for gasoline because of the impact on global oil trade? So this isn't just a drop a bomb and we're done. The question is, what's the longer term ramifications here? And that's where a lot of Washington is split, and some are demanding, especially the Democrats, they're demanding a vote on this. They want to say, look, we haven't declared war against Iran. Why are we doing this now? And then we should get some sort of authorization from Congress before the president takes unilateral action.
Rory O'Neill, NBC News, we appreciate you. Have a wonderful day and a great weekend.
Thanks, Shelley. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. That was Rory O'Neill. Very interesting what's happening with the bombings are increasing. You heard the breaking news that a hospital was hit in Israel, and that did not make Israel happy at all. They've stepped up their efforts to create more damage or inflict more damage on Iran. We're going to get to, in the next segment, when we come back, I want to talk about their protests supporting Iran going on. Started yesterday in Times Square. Very loud, very raucous. We're going to talk about that coming up next. I've been on the air all week filling in for Mark Arum all week long. And this has been the top story since pretty much Monday. It started over the weekend. And since I've come on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, and this morning, this is day 7. This is day 7 from the first bombing, Israel bombing Iran. It's day 7. And this is, I don't see this not going and not stopping anytime soon, and I fear, and I'm praying that this is one of those things you're afraid of because it's the worst case possible. So you're saying, okay, the worst case possible, I'm afraid of that. That's what we do as humans, right? I really am increasingly becoming more and more convinced that this is only going to get worse, and I don't. And I want to say that to you as you're driving around and you're feeling good and you're shopping or you're with the family or you're barbecuing or whatever it is that you're doing today on this federal holiday called Juneteenth. But the more I cover this story, the more people I talk to, the more calls I have with people close to the administration or in the administration or in elected positions in the federal government, the more I talk to them, the more I get afraid that this is only going to grow worse. And that scares me because what happens, like Rory said, it's not just going to be a drop a bomb and move. Shoot ballistic missiles if you're Israel into Iran and Iran shoots them back and it's done when everyone runs out of missiles. There's going to come a certain point, my friends, that I'm afraid of. And I know there are those out there who are telling you, that it may not happen or it may happen, but I know the Muslim community. not the radical Islam community, but I know the Muslim community. And to Americans and Christians especially, the division in the Muslim community, Shia and Shiite, this is a strong division, and many people think that there's this big disagreement and that they hate each other. But Muslims see them all as Muslims, and when they view or consider seeing a common enemy, they become all Muslims. Shia and Shiite go out the window. Iran, Iraq goes out the window. Saudi, Oman goes out the window. Qatar goes out the window. They're all Muslims. And if this grows and Iran begins to start losing, I don't think the Muslim communities will rally necessarily around Israel. I don't think they'll necessarily rally around Iran, but they will start to increasingly become a little bit more angrier at a Muslim neighbor. Shia, Shiite, doesn't matter. A Muslim neighbor having population and civilian casualties because they see it as everyone is Muslim. And that's my fear of a broader Middle Eastern war. That's my fear. I know there's a bunch of stuff the data speaks to, but human nature speaks to something entirely different. That if there's seen to be civilian casualties in Iran, I believe other Muslim countries, they will not jump in, they will not defend. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is they will become increasingly angrier at Israel and America. And they do have a chip to play, and that chip is the gas. 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We'll be right back. Sorry, let's check traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
All right, Shelley, we are seeing delays in the downtown, 75-85 northbound. Tap of the brake above the University Avenue exit 244 up into the John Lewis Freedom Parkway region. Crash cleanup, big rig crash cleanup in Marietta on the right shoulder, slowing things down. I-75 southbound, they're working on the shoulder at Delk Road exit 261. And crews are working near the ballpark with an overturned tractor-trailer crash cleanup on the ramp. Ramp is open, but it's slow. 285 north and east trying to get onto the I-75 northbound ramp. This report sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $302 million. Now with bigger jackpots, better odds, and built-in multiplier. Drawings every Tuesday and Friday. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
The I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Spring is here, folks. You know what that means? It's officially moving season. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. Oh, moving, such a stressful situation. Time filled with hours of packing, unpacking, all the bubble wrap. First thing you should do when moving into your home, though, is make sure the Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity. Super quick and easy to set up. Makes moving less stressful. Then, boom, you'll have your new home hooked up with the ultimate Wi-Fi experience faster than the time it takes to parallel park a moving truck. Then you'll be back online with the most reliable Wi-Fi with the best-in-class equipment from Xfinity. So you can just kick back, relax, stream your favorite movies and TV shows while someone else deals with all those boxes. Because with Xfinity, the only thing you have to worry about is remembering where you packed the remote control. Make the right and easy move with Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/move. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi claim based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report August 2024.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Hey, remember that crack in the concrete by your pool, the one everyone keeps tripping on? It's still there. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can fix that. Just schedule a free inspection at aquaguard.net and a team of experts will stop by to help you out. Remember the name.
AquaGuard. When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers, to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Skeeters biting you? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is Medi-Share. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with Medi-Share, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about Medi-Share, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And Medi-Share works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So please check me out. Be back on my regular spot on Monday. Tonight, Alan Sanders fills in for me from 7 to 9 p.m. And on Friday as well. But so he's filling in for me tonight and tomorrow because I'm filling in for Mark Arum now 9 a.m. to noon. So I want to play this sound for you. I did not know this was happening until very early this morning. It's happening in New York, and it's fascinating to me. Let me just play this quick sound for you so you get an idea of this massive, massive protest in Times Square yesterday.
Hands up Iran now! Hands up Iran now! Hands up Iran now! Hands up Iran now! Hands up Iran now!
That was in Times Square, New York City, Times Square, my hometown. They said, Iran makes us proud, burn Tel Aviv to the ground. The crowd chanted this. Iran, make us proud, burn Tel Aviv to the ground. And I thought to myself when I was listening to that, I said, what, this is my city now? This is where I grew up. And they're chanting for a despotic theocracy where women have no rights, gays have no rights, anybody non-Iranian has no rights, even Iranians don't have any rights. Like, that's what you're chanting for? And I'm thinking to myself, where do people find their thoughts and opinions? That's what concerns me. I get you saying, whatever. You can have two sides to an issue. But chanting Iran, make us proud, burn Tel Aviv to the ground. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. If you went over there now as a woman, you'd have no rights. You can't go to school. You're forced to marry whoever they tell you to marry. You have no rights. You can't drive. You can't do anything. Why would you chant for that here? Why would you Why would you in one breath, talk about Gaza and Palestinians and say the Palestinians should be free, right? This is what they chant. Palestine should be free. Palestinians should be free. And then the very next breath chant, Iran, make us proud. This tells me that people have no idea what they're talking about. And the people who side with these people, again, they have no idea what they're talking about. They simply don't like America. Whether it's Trump, Biden, whomever, they simply don't like America. And so they will chant for a regime that literally represses everybody they cheer for. The women, LGBT community, they will cheer for these people to succeed. And I'm wondering, I don't know, my mom used to have this statement she would say to me sometimes, early on. Like if she saw me, one time she saw me walking down the street and I was walking on the inside of my girlfriend. And she would say to me, "Who raised you?" Now, this is my mom, right? So she's kind of making a joke, but her point was, who raised you? How do you not know to walk on the outside? How do you not know to hold the door open for a woman? How do you not know how to save money? These things, she would say, who raised you? And that's what I say to these people chanting, Iran, make us proud, burn Tel Aviv to the ground. I simply say to all of you, who raised you? Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. Taking your calls at 448-722-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. In line with this Israel-Iran situation, I'm going to play some sound coming up next from The View. Oh, my God, you got to hear this. And after you do, you're going to ask the same question my mom used to ask me. Who raised you? We'll be right back.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Arum here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Did you know Superior is probably the #1 installer of water heaters in Atlanta? If your water heater is over 10 years old, time to replace and be surprised on the improvements it will make in giving you plenty of hot water. Superior offers a 10-year warranty.
Hey y'all, Linda Beaver here, and summer starts now at Beaver Toyota. The trucks have been rolling in and we're loaded up with fresh inventory. Road trips, beach days, or just cruising, we have the perfect Toyota for your summer adventure. Get huge savings, low financing, plus Beaver benefits include lifetime powertrain warranty, lifetime oil changes, lifetime loaner cars, and more. The best selection, the best deals, but when they're gone, it's over. Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota, always providing you a world-class experience.
With 5 miles of private beach and endless outdoor activities, Sea Island is summer at its best. Book today at seaisland.com/summer and enjoy 30% off August stays plus a $250 resort credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Multiple contractors and estimates for your home projects? What a hassle. Instead, trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We're reliable, fully licensed, and insured. No muss, no fuss. Trust the Plus and leave everything on your list to us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our top story, Israel at war. Hundreds of people injured in overnight strikes between Israel and Iran as one Israeli official ramps up threatening rhetoric in the conflict.
The military says around 30 ballistic missiles were fired from Israel at Iran this morning, and several made it through Israeli air defenses. There was major damage after a direct hit at the biggest hospital in southern Israel.
Robert Berger reports Israel's defense minister blames Iran's supreme leader for the hospital attack. He says Iran's supreme leader, quote, should not continue to exist, end quote. Meanwhile, Georgia Congressman Rich McCormick says this morning on CNN he supports striking targets if Iran won't negotiate.
If Israel can take care of the job, by all means, let Israel take care of the job, even if we have to supply the weapons to do so. I'd rather not be involved directly.
The White House continues to weigh whether the U.S. should take a more active role. We'll keep you updated here should a decision be reached. We have coverage at the top and bottom of every hour and when it breaks. Right now it's 77 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Those storms are coming. Right now showers up in northwest Georgia. But then we've got several clear days ahead of us after today. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta radio's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A former Metro Atlanta post office employee has been arrested for stealing from unopened mail.
Police in Holly Springs say they work with officials from the U.S. Postal Service to arrest a 50-year-old Douglasville man that they say was stealing money and gift cards from unopened mail. Calvin T. Jones worked as a clerk at the Holly Springs Service Center, and according to the Inspector General's investigation, it revealed that he'd stolen cash and gift cards from sealed envelopes on multiple occasions. He's currently facing 3 charges, including exploitation of an elder and theft by taking. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Well, the Fulton County School Board is voting in favor of a new policy to restrict cell phone use for K-8 students in the coming school year. Students in grades K-5 have already been adhering to those restrictions.
Such as laptops, cell phones, Google Glasses, Apple Watches for use during instructional time.
Brian Noyes with the district saying it comes as the state implements a statewide cell phone ban for K-8, but that doesn't kick in until the 2026 to 2027 school year. WSB recall alert. More than 250,000 Honda and Acura vehicles are being recalled because of an issue with the brake pedal. Honda says an issue with the pivot pin may cause the pedal to move out of position. That'll make it hard for drivers to slow or stop a vehicle. Now, that recall includes the Acura TLX, model years 2021 to 2025, and MDX, years 2023 to 2025. And the Honda Pilot's also included, years 2023 to 2025 there. Dealers will repair that issue for free. Today is Juneteenth, a day of celebrations across the U.S.
Even though Abraham Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation over 2 years prior, it was not until June 19, 1865, word reached some slaves in Texas they were free from bondage. The federal holiday was declared in 2021.
This is something that should be celebrated by all Americans. For me, it unofficially marked the beginning of what I would call freedom season from Juneteenth to July 4th.
Atlanta City Council member Michael Julian Bond says a number of events are planned across the city today. Sandy Springs and Smyrna have programs at 5 p.m. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's 10:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smilin' Mark McKay's live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Slowing Austin on I-85 northbound, leaving 285 up through Norcross. Gwinnett Fire Rescue have knocked down a car fire. They're still working in the right lane, though. I-85 north at Jimmy Carter Boulevard. That's why you're slow. Trying to get up to Indian Trail Road. A little slowing on the southbound side with spectator delays. Spectators, motors, the drivers are watching a big rig crash cleanup in Marietta on the right shoulder. Still working from very early this morning on I-75 southbound at Delk Road, exit 261. And a slow transition because of yet another big rig crash cleanup, this time where 285 meets I-75 in Smyrna Vinings. The ramp is open, but workers are on the side there at exit 20. That's why it's slow back at South Cobb Drive. Smilin' Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, high 89, but watching for a line of thunderstorms to roll through this afternoon. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts, lows tonight in the low 70s. Drying out tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 91. Sunshine and turning hotter for Saturday, high 92.
Right now it's 77 in Sandy Springs, 78 in College Park, and 77 degrees in Midtown. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Good morning. Happy Juneteenth to all of you who are at work like I am on this federal holiday, and like Longoria and Deborah Green and Vinny and our program director and everyone else at work today. We have to work. But me especially, because General Order Number 3 said They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. So Shelley Winter, the African-American conservative on WSB Radio, has to be here by General Order number 3. So we're talking about, I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on this great station, 95.5 WSB. Please check me out on Monday. I'll be back in my regular time slot. Tonight, Alan Sanders fills in for me tonight and tomorrow as I am filling in for Mark Arum. But so earlier you heard my interview with Rory O'Neill, NBC News and WSB national correspondent, and all the breaking news around Israel. This is still the number one story, and we will still continue to cover it here at this station, not only the talkers, but also our news department, our great news department. And then we covered just now the protests in Times Square, where people are literally chanting, Iran, Iran, make us proud, burn Tel Aviv to the ground. We just played that and we just talked about that. Now I want to take you to The View. I believe this was yesterday. Listen to this exchange between Alyssa Farah Griffin and Whoopi Goldberg, whereby my mom, as I said earlier, would ask Whoopi, who raised you?
So that's the thing. So the question then becomes, that's why you have a UN. That's why you had all of these folks who come together. And yeah, it's it's slow.
But let's just remember too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing.
Let's
not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
But where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot wearing this outfit.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Tehran. They're killed for
I'm sorry.
Well, they were like around. No, I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally said it was up to the Iranian people.
Yes,
it is up to them.
And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Guys, don't go to Tehran. Do not anyone at this table.
She's absolutely right. Don't go to Tehran. But listen to the ridiculous statement that black people and gay people in America are going through the same thing that people in Tehran are going through. Like, listen to that. And they're serious. This is not play acting. Like, sometimes I would, there's some panel shows where you kind of get the feeling that people are playing a role, right? They're playing a role of what their side believes, and they're going to defend their side. And it happens on both sides. I watched The Five sometime on Fox, and sometime you get the feeling that Jesse Waters and others and Glenn Gutfeld are just kind of playing the role of the right. Like, they don't really believe that particular policy that they're defending, right? You kind of get that feeling sometimes. CNN, if you watch CNN's Abby Phillips late at night when they have the whole panel discussion, Scott Jennings is on there, and my good friend Shermichael Singleton, the two conservatives, and there's usually like 3 or 4 liberals, including the host Abby Phillips. And you kind of get the feeling sometimes that the liberals on that panel are playing a role. They're kind of, I'm going to play my side. You know who does this magnificently just to be on television? Michael Steele. Michael Steele plays the role. Like, I'm a conservative, but I love everything the liberals do, and I hate everything the Republicans do. He's playing a role, and you can tell. In the opinions that he shares, you can tell. And in this case, with The View, Whoopi Goldberg truly, truly, truly believes in her mind, which is so scary to me. She believes in her mind that African Americans and gay people in America are going through the same fear, the same despotic dictatorship, theocracy that the Iranian regular citizen is going through, particularly the women. Whoopi Goldberg believes in her mind, which is totally terrifying to me. And what's even more terrifying is when she made the statement, you heard the crowd cheer. Yeah. She says murder of a person because they're different is wrong no matter who does it. Yes, we understand that. That is probably one of the most obvious statements. Murder of a person for any reason is bad, Whoopi. It's not worse because people are different. It's the same. But it's such an obvious statement to make. And what terrifies me is that there are people out there who are nodding their heads in agreement. Yes, Whoopi's right. I, as an African American, I, as a woman, I, as a gay man or woman, I feel the same fear that Iranians fear in Iran in 2025. Are you serious, woman? Are you serious? On Juneteenth? Are you serious? Uh-oh. I'm catching the spirit. Catching the spirit. Imagine, if you will, that an enslaved African on June 17th, 1865, on June 17th, he's standing where he's standing in some field, picking cotton, ratted, tatted, hand-me-down clothes, bread for food, porridge for food, drinking water every now and then. And it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and he's been working. He, his children, his mom, his mother, his wife, they've been working in the field since 6 a.m. this morning or since sunup this morning. And all of a sudden you said, hey, get in this time machine. It's June 17th, 1865. And you said, get in this time machine. And you skip them ahead to June 19th, 2025. And that enslaved African in his ratty clothes, because your clothes don't change when you go in a time machine, and he's got his nasty, dirty, gringy, gungy clothes, the same clothes he's had on for the last 4 months, years. He hasn't eaten. He's been working in the field since 6 o'clock sunup that morning. And he's now here in 2025. And you said, hey, sit in this audience. Sit in this audience. And he looks up with the audience. He says, that woman looks like my grandmother. She's up there alongside the Hispanics and the whites and everybody else. Oh, look, to the left of the stage, there's a woman with a headset who's controlling everything. She's a woman. Oh, my God. And then he would walk outside and he'd see African Americans walking up and down the street, some married to white people. And he would say to himself, oh, my God, this has happened. And then we would tell him, because when we transported him from June 17th, 1865 to June 19th, 2025, we would tell him, hey, guess what we're celebrating today? The whole country is, not just African Americans, but the whole country. We would tell him, we're celebrating 2 days from when we transported you from 1865 to now. 2 days later, on June 19th, 1865, General Granger, the Union Major General, is going to tell you that you are now free. And now we celebrate it all across the country. People took off of work. People have off of work. The federal government said it's a national holiday. And that enslaved African from transported in time forward to 2025 from June 17th, 1865, he would look around and he would say, oh, Lordy, Lordy, this is a great thing. And then there's Whoopi telling him, oh, it's not that good. We're still oppressed. We still walk down the street in fear. We still fear for our lives every time we get in a car. We still fear from the police because they're the former slave patrol. I guarantee you, I cannot get in the mind of an enslaved African from 1865, June 17th. But I guarantee you, my friends, I guarantee you, he would laugh at her. I guarantee you he would almost want to spit in her face. Because he would tell her, you know no fear, woman. You don't know fear. Are there people chasing you down on horses with bloodhounds on your tail? What did you put on this morning? Did you put on the same thing you've been wearing for the last 3 months? Did you get beaten because you slept a little later than sunrise? Did you get beaten because you didn't have enough cotton in your bag at the end of the day? Is your child still with you and you can get in touch with them, or will you have to find them 2 days from now and walk across the country to find out where they are? You must be nuts, woman. No, dare I say you are nuts, woman. To get on television and tell the world that you believe African Americans, women, and gay people are suffering the same as Iranians in Tehran in 2025 is the height of the dumbest thing ever said on television. It truly, truly is. And what makes it so scary, my friends, what makes it so scary is that she really, truly believes it. She leaves that station, gets into a limousine, a door held open by a doorman, and she pulls up to a house with a doorman, and she goes up to a 3, 4, 5 bedroom apartment in New York City that she owns through her own hard work, only to get on television and tell an audience that if you're black, if you're gay, if you're a woman, you suffer and you live in fear, just like an Iranian citizen in Tehran. That, ladies and gentlemen, is disgusting. It's disgusting to tell people that, because there are a bunch of people who believe it, and once they believe it, once they have that set in their mind, they have no options left. Because if you truly believe in 2025, if you're a black, gay, or woman, all three, you literally should not get up out of bed any morning, because there is no reason to live anymore. And that's what that does to people, Whoopi. It's disgusting. Let's go check traffic with my good friend and little brother, smiling Mark McKay.
All right, Shelley, a couple of active car fire cleanup scenes. One near the airport we have in the jam cam. 2 right lanes are knocked out. That means just 1 left lane open, I-85 northbound before Camp Creek Parkway, exit 72. And the fire department has left. Now we've got a tow truck on the scene towing away a charred car in Norcross. Right shoulder knocked out on I-85 northbound north of Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. Slow back toward I-285. This report sponsored by your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy. Kroger Pharmacy welcomes Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. You can transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/pay-or-update. Smile, Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Get the WSB Radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB Radio app, then you saw the breaking news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
These days, the Atlanta real estate market is just like Atlanta weather, unpredictable. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. If there was ever a time to work with a true real estate expert, now is that time. In all my years in residential real estate, this is the most change and volatility I've seen. A misstep could cost thousands. This is when experience matters. My team and I are passionate about providing clarity to our clients through our expertise in real estate. So, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, we can give you that clarity so you can make great choices and the best decisions. And yes, I host Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB, but you don't have to wait until Saturday for help. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and ask me anything. My team and I are here for you. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com for clarity in buying or selling your home.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well. And I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Home's your happy place, but not when critters bust in, and it happened to me. Mark Aram here for Breda Pest Management. My wife and I were shocked to see 2 beady little eyes in the basement. So gross. Breda kicked those critters out, and we're still protected with their wildlife guarantee, even if they chew a new entry point. No one else covers that. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. People often ask me why our mattresses last so long. The answer is simple. We build them right. Not only are OMF mattresses durable, they give you peace of mind from day one. When you invest in a mattress from OMF, you're investing in better sleep tonight and smart savings for years to come. No more frequent replacements, no more wasted time shopping. To learn more about the true value of durability, visit originalmattress.com and read our latest blog on getting the most from your mattress investment.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and more people looking beyond pills and steroids and surgery. Hey, it's Mark Aram for QC Kinetics. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of this medical revolution since 2018. Using regenerative medicine, they have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting joint pain relief using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. The truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment. Now it's mainstream, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader. Their well-respected protocols include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments to revitalize and restore damaged joint tissue. They're not masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Learn more about this revolutionary treatment and get a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram, ladies and gentlemen. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on this great station. Alan Sanders fills in for me tonight, so please come back or stay all day and check him out, and I'll be back in my regular time slot Monday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please follow us at WSB Radio, and please, you could follow us on the live stream at WSBradio.com, and I'm also on all social media as Shelley Winter, SHELLEYWYNTER. So there's a story, Karen Reed. I want to bring Deborah Green into this. Karen Reed is accused of she was accused of killing her boyfriend, who was a police officer, John O'Keefe. And so there were three years, 2 trials, and she's finally found not guilty. She was acquitted of second-degree murder, manslaughter, while operating under the influence, involuntary manslaughter, motor vehicle homicide, and leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. She was found guilty of operating under the influence. She was arrested in 2022 and accused of killing her boyfriend of 2 years, who was a Boston police officer, and they accused her of killing him by drunkenly running him over after a night out together in January. She vehemently denied having any involvement in his death, and there was, like I said, over 3 years, 2 trials. This trial, she was found not guilty. My one question is to everybody, why do I care about this story? Like I do, I'm on talk radio. I told you, I'm on 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every single day I come in to do show prep, this story has been popping over the last 3 years. And I never talked about it till now because I never really cared. Like, people are accused of crimes and go to trial and all the time. And so I didn't understand. So, Deborah Green, your thoughts on this? Like, why should we care? Like, is it me that not really knowing what's going on in the world? Should I care about this story?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way because, we have to pull through the news every day to kind of see what's breaking, what changed, what came out, what can we talk about. And this has been there for the past couple months, if not years. And it's terrible, right? Because a police officer died. That's awful.
Right.
But I'm not. Should I be more interested in what happens to her? Like, is she someone more important? Right. I feel bad because I kind of don't care.
I kind of don't care either. Like you said, someone passed away, someone died, especially a police officer. But, like, who is she that I should care? That she got off, or was found guilty the first time? Like, why should I care? Except the fact that the media keeps talking about her. And now it's a big story today because she's been found not guilty. I don't know. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. When we come back, I'm going to be on a phone with Kevin Tanner. He is the trustee of the Opioid Trust in Georgia. There's a big settlement. We're going to hear from him about what happens next. We'll be right back.
Passion. It's the difference between getting it done and being exceptional. For your home's exterior renovation, hire a company passionate about your project. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie. My passion for high-quality remodeling began when I started my business at just 15. Now we have grown to the Plus family of businesses. If you hear the Plus, it's us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Right now, Beaver Toyota of Cumming is loaded with fresh inventory, and they're offering huge savings, low financing, and all the Beaver benefits. See them on the web at beavertoyotacumming.com. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming, the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and executive producer of the award-winning documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who've retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and the money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money saved, call to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new film at 1-800-689-4242. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. So don't delay. Call right now, 1-800-689-4242. That's 1-800-689-4242. Again, 1-800-689-4242.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top local story, there's some good news today for Georgia's job market.
Georgia's unemployment rate now stands at 3.5% for May. The latest numbers from the state labor department find the rate dropped a tenth of a point from April and is now 0.7 lower than the national average. Georgia's jobless rate had held steady at 3.6% for almost a year. State Labor Commissioner Barbara Rivera Holmes says Georgia's business-friendly environment and competitive workforce have helped it hit an all-time high of 4,988,000 jobs. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Updating Israel at war, Chinese leader Xi Jinping calls on major powers, quote, to help cool the conflict with Iran without naming the U.S. directly. Xi and Russian President Vladimir Putin both condemning Israel's actions. There's already a buildup of U.S. assets in the region as the White House mulls whether the U.S. should become more involved.
A mix of fighter aircraft, F-16s, F-22s, and F-35s are en route. And the USS Ford Carrier Strike Group is already deploying to Europe next week, putting 3 naval carrier strike groups closer to the conflict.
Ed O'Keefe reports this follows an Iranian strike this morning on an Israeli hospital, leaving dozens wounded. You can check back here often to 95.5 WSB for updates as the conflict continues. A new report ranks Atlanta toward the bottom when it comes to the safest cities for drivers. Atlanta comes in at number 189 out of 200 cities on Allstate's annual list. The insurance company analyzed collision data and finds the average driver in Atlanta will experience an accident every 6.3 years. Allstate says Brownsville, Texas is the safest city for drivers. That's followed by Boise, Idaho, and Fort Collins, Colorado. The most dangerous is Boston. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines tops a new list of the best airlines.
The Points Guy, founder and CEO Brian Kelly, says the rankings are based on reliability, passenger experience, cost and reach, and loyalty programs. Delta scored highly across the board.
They were still the most reliable on-time airline in America.
Michael Wallace reports United jumped to second, followed by Southwest, Alaska, and Hawaiian Airlines. Well, another technical problem for SpaceX's new Starship rocket. The rocket being tested in Texas exploded while on the test stand. It had not launched in what SpaceX calls a, quote, major anomaly. The company says all personnel are safe, no injuries are reported. It also says there are no hazards to nearby communities. Well, a multi-billion-dollar budget's approved to complete Atlanta's Beltline.
The approved $242 million budget is aimed at completing the new Beltline Trail, transit, and affordable housing projects. Beltline President Clyde Higgs says the project is 5 years away from completion, but most of the 22-mile loop is expected to be completed just in time for the FIFA World Cup.
This time next year, we'll have 85% of the Beltline completed ahead of FIFA World Cup.
$40 million of the new budget is being allocated for affordable housing. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
It is 10:33. We've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
All right, Austin, travel advisory near Hartsfield-Jackson Airport on the jam cam. I'm watching 2 right lanes knocked out. This is a vehicle fire cleanup, car fire cleanup in those 2 right lanes of 85 northbound. Right at Camp Creek Parkway, exit 72. No need for an alternate. You're just single file in a left lane as you continue north out of College Park, heading toward East Point and the downtown connector. Slowing on the south side out of Stockbridge, I-75 stacking up at I-675. Big rig crash cleanups continue both on I-75 southbound at Delk Road on the right shoulder and where 285 meets I-75 near the ballpark. They're also working the right shoulder on the ramp from 285 east to I-75 north, exit 20. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, high 89. Watching for a line of thunderstorms to roll through. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts that can knock down a tree or two. Then drying out for tonight, lows in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot with a high of 91. Heating up to the low to mid 90s for the rest of this weekend.
Right now it's 78 in Decatur, Vinings, and Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard, 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a couple days ago, the news broke about the Purdue Pharma Sacklers reaching a new $7.4 billion opioid settlement. Well, there's the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust. The trustee, the head of this trust, Kevin Tanner, joins us next to talk about how Georgia will be impacted by this settlement. That's coming up on a Mark Arum Show. I'm Shelley Winter, just filling in.
2 keys to surviving a brutal Atlanta summer. Number 1, stay hydrated. Drink your water, folks. Number 2, make sure your air conditioning unit can handle your needs. It's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. You need AC this summer. You need an AC that works and is reliable, and you need to save money. Check out this offer. Get any sized AC, just $69.99 a month. That's it. 0 down. Low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are no additional charge for life. An unbeatable lifetime warranty. Plus, you get 24/7 service and next day installations guaranteed, or Reliable pays you $500. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button, or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
JIC, Flat Face Seal, BSP, and DEN. If you know what these are, then listen up.
I'm Victoria Holloway. We can replicate hose assembly on site with Mobile Hydraulics of Georgia.
Call 770-HYD-HOSE or try our website, HYDHOSE.com.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum all this week. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I want to go to our friend. I've been trying to get Mr. Tanner on when this news broke 2 days ago, because he is the trustee and he is the head of the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust. So first of all, let me set this up. Kevin, if you can hold on 1 second. Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family reached a new $7.4 billion opioid settlement. All 50 states, as well as the District of Columbia and U.S. territories, have approved a $7.4 billion settlement with Purdue Pharma, maker of OxyContin, and the Sackler family. And so here in Georgia, we have a Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust. $126 million just for Georgia, right? When would those monies become available?
Well, it's still yet to be determined. There's obviously, with litigation and settlement agreements, you have local governments who are participating in the litigation. They're going to have to agree and sign off on the suit. So it could be a little bit of time before we start seeing the first payments coming into Georgia. We do obviously already have the manufacturers and distributors settlements that happened already. That's a total of $438 million flowing into Georgia over the next 18 years, and that's the money we're currently distributing.
Gotcha. And so when you say local governments, do you mean county and municipalities?
Yeah, that's right. So what happened with a lot of the settlement agreements and a lot of the lawsuits was the states, the attorney generals across the country sued whether it's a pharmacy, the manufacturers, the distributors. Gotcha. They sued, and then local governments also got in on those lawsuits. So governments across Georgia, for instance, also sued and became a party to the suit. And they obviously have a say in the settlement agreement.
Absolutely. Of the 400 some odd million dollars that Georgia has access to, already has much of it in its coffers, where does that money go, and who applies for that money? And there's 3 questions. Is there still time for organizations to apply for some of that money?
Yeah, so the first round of grant funding, and let me just back up, that money will flow to Georgia over an 18-year period of time. And we released $50 million, approximately $50 million in the first round of grants. Those have been all awarded, and those dollars are flowing to entities all across Georgia. 60 out of the $438 million, 75% of that will flow through the trust. 25% goes directly to local participating governments from the national settlement. So that's roughly 479 million of the 638 million will flow through the trust. Out of those, the second round of grants had just closed. Actually, yesterday, we received 459 applications for a total ask of $288 million. And we plan to award $30 million. So there's a lot of interest in this. 60% of those dollars will be statewide type grant applications. 40% will be regional. And I'd love to be able to give you a little more information about how intentional we've been on this if we have time to cover
Absolutely.
that.
Go ahead and tell us. When you say how intentional, you're going to tell us what kinds of entities got the monies, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Georgia took a little bit different approach, I think, than some other states. A lot of other states rushed to get dollars out on the street. But we wanted to make sure in 18 years from now, when all of these dollars have been expended, that we've actually made a difference. We've actually moved the needle, and we're actually saving lives. So in Georgia, we have regional advisory groups set up in every region. Each of those groups are appointed by the local governing authorities, the counties and cities for that area. And all of them have a sheriff, all of them have a judge, all of them have somebody who is in the treatment community, but they also have someone with lived experience. That's someone who is in recovery from addiction, somebody who has been addicted to opioids. And they're looking at all the grant applications for their region, and they're giving advice on what should be funded. Then at the state level, we have a statewide advisory group called GOSAC, and that group, half of those members are appointed by Governor Kemp, the other half by the local governments around Georgia, and they also have that lived voice. So we've been very intentional about who has input. We also did a lot of research and brought in some outside expertise to look at what is the perfect continuum of care, what are the gaps in services, where do we need treatment centers, where do we need more harm reduction. All of that's available on the GA Opioid Trust website, and we're asking folks when they apply for funding to tell us how are you going to fill those gaps, because our goal is to make sure every county, every city, every community, every zip code in Georgia has a complete, thorough continuum of care when these dollars are all spent.
We're on the phone with Trustee Kevin Tanner. He's the head of the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust. The big settlement, $7.4 billion opioid settlement, looks like it's going to be approved. Georgia will be getting monies from that settlement, but we've already gotten in monies from other settlements, and that's what we're talking about right now. Kevin, so none of this money is going to any kind of general fund or anything. None of this money is going to anything else except treatment, harm reduction, or possibly prevention. Can we say that?
Yes, on the settlement agreements that have already been signed, including the $638 million that we've been talking about, it is very specific that it has to be used for either prevention, treatment, recovery, harm reduction, or research relating to opioids. So unlike the tobacco money that came in, this is very specific, and there's been a very intentional plan to make sure these dollars are not spent on anything other than what they're intended to be spent on.
That's awesome to hear. I would ask one question. Prevention, would that maybe include law enforcement, maybe to crack down on opioid sales or the illegal portion of that, or is that separate? Or you know what I mean? Is that a good, fair question?
Well, I'll give you an example. So the Georgia Sheriff's Association runs a program called CHAMPS, which teaches drug prevention to fifth graders across Georgia. And we awarded them, through the first round of funding, a grant application to allow them to expand that program into more Georgia schools.
Okay.
So that falls under prevention.
Gotcha. That's good. Okay, awesome. Last question I have for you. 18 years from now, can we envision Georgia and many other states, but we're here in Georgia, can we envision where abuse, addiction may be down considerably because of these monies? Or do you think money is not the only way to stop addiction and the problems associated with it? Is that a fair question?
I think it's a great question, and it's a question we ask ourselves every day. I think that at the end of 18 years, it's important for us to understand that the opioid epidemic is unlike anything we have ever saw before. I spent much of my career working in and running a law enforcement agency, working undercover drug cases, making arrests. When we started seeing the opioids come into play, we started seeing individuals who never had the intent to start taking drugs becoming addicts because they were a football high school player who hurt their knee, had to go in for knee surgery, was overprescribed opioids, and then when the doctor cut them off, they were an addict, and they had to go to the street to start finding heroin and other products to replace those opioids. So we have a drug epidemic that has affected a population who never would have taken an illegal drug. So I do think with us being smart and intentional about how we spend these dollars, we're going to make a significant impact in lessening the number of people who are dying in Georgia.
Can you give out the website before we let you go? And we appreciate your time. Kevin Tanner, head of the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust. Can you give out the website, because there's going to be another round of funding that people can possibly get more information about. Can you give out that website?
Yes, it's gaopioidtrust.org, and we plan to open up grant opportunities at least once a year. So go to the website, get informed, reach out to us if anyone has any questions. We're here to help.
Thank you, Kevin Tanner. We appreciate you very much, brother. Happy Juneteenth to you, my friend.
You too. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back. Let's go check traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
All right, Shelley, the travel advisor is going away near the airport because the vehicle fire cleanup has gone away out of two right lanes. Here, unit pulling last cones up, 85 northbound before Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. Leaving the airport area, I-75 out of Morrow into Stockbridge, seeing the slowing at I-675 rolling south. West side perimeter starting to ease up now. 285 north still going to find a few delays up toward the ballpark and Truist Park. And a crash on the east side perimeter we have in the jam cam knocks out the left lane. 285 southbound, the inner loop at Memorial Drive, exit 41. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
When news breaks,
major escalation in the Middle East. Israel and Iran have traded attacks.
We've got it covered.
Iran has launched missiles at Israel, including in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Tune in often for the latest.
An American official now confirms the U.S. is helping Israel intercept the missiles.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Every year for the 4th of July, my family invites over friends, and I get a big box of burgers and franks from Omaha Steaks, and we grill out. It's going to be the same this year. Right now, for the 4th of July sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at Omaha Steaks. Just like me, I don't get a special. I take the discount as well, and you can use the promo code ERIC at checkout and get an extra $45 off. So it's already 50% off site-wide, and then you put in Eric as your promo code, and you get $45 extra off, minimum order required. You get unparalleled quality from Omaha Steaks. It's deliciousness. Get the burgers, get the gourmet jumbo franks. You can get the sides, everything you need. You can even get steaks. We do this every year. It's become a family tradition. Start your own family tradition with Omaha Steaks. Again, 50% off site-wide right now. And if you go to omahasteaks.com with the 50% off site-wide, you get an extra $45 off if you use Eric, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. omahasteaks.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
365 days a year, just call us up, we'll be right there. Our service is guaranteed. At Shoemate, we take great care. Our experts are always there for you and your family's needs. When your family just can't wait, you can always count on Shoemate.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. There's a reason factory is in our name. It's who we've been since day one. In times of uncertainty, OMF offers something increasingly rare: stability and consistency. While others chase trends, we've stayed ahead of the curve by remaining steadfast in what truly matters: quality products, locally built, at factory direct prices. Our commitment to American-made components isn't new for us. It's what we've practiced since our founding. We carefully select domestic materials from trusted suppliers, ensuring every element of your mattress meets our exacting standards. Our skilled employees build superior two-sided mattresses right here in town, a practice many others have long since abandoned. As manufacturing landscapes shift and supply chains fluctuate, we continue doing what we've always done: create exceptional American-made mattresses, treat our customers with respect, and offer tried and true quality that stands the test of time. Experience the OMF difference at any of our showrooms or originalmattress.com.
Home is where the heart is. It's your happy place, right? But when bugs and critters bust in, not so happy, and it happened to me. Hey, it's Mark Aram from my pals at Breda Pest Management. Boy, did they come to our rescue. When we moved to our new home, we were shocked to see two beady little eyes in the basement. So gross. What do? We called Breda to kick those critters out. They found and secured a bunch of entry points. Next, they trapped and removed the critters, disposed of their nesting, disinfect and deodorized, all like they were never even there. And check this out, guys. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if critters chew new holes in your home, you stay protected at no additional cost. Only Breda guarantees old and new entry points, while others only cover what they originally sealed. Breda, they handle bugs and critters the best in the biz. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a Phone on Us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable, nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I want to go local for a couple minutes. Got a couple minutes in the segment. My name is Shelley Winter. I'm filling in for Mark Aram all week long. I normally air 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you listen to my show, and many of you probably Don't be, maybe, hopefully you do. I don't want to assume anything, but hopefully you do. But if you, let me set this up. I have been on a rampage on my show over the last several weeks about an organization within the Georgia GOP here in Georgia called the Georgia Republican Assembly, called the GRA. This is an organization that has become increasingly Looney Tunes. And the crackpots and the crazies. These are people that are still hanging on the 2020 election. They're still, they're fully, totally MAGA. These are the people that my people like myself who are Trump supporters look at and be like, oh, you're a little bit out there. Right? And this organization is just ruining the Georgia GOP. They're ruining Republican chances in Georgia, just completely ruining all our chances in Georgia, because there are people out there who are independent, who may vote Republican, who see them, who talk to them or see them on social media and say, I don't want to be associated with that group of people. Well, let me tell you what's happening. All my efforts on the radio over the last several months, I would say, is coming to fruition. 70 people, 70 of one organization, the Georgia GRP, 70 people sent a letter saying that they're all resigning. They sent a letter to the current leadership of Alex Johnson and Nathaniel Darnell, and 70 people, I don't know how many people total in the organization, but 70 is a huge hit, have all resigned from the organization. That's not only due to my efforts, but I'm very happy about this news. As more and more people quit, maybe the Georgia GRA will go away, and we can have a solid, cohesive Georgia GOP that will work unfailingly and aggressively to elect Republicans across the state of Georgia at the local, state, and federal levels. This was something that needed to happen, and it did. Congratulations to all 70 names on this I'm out of here letter to the leadership of the Georgia GRA. Let's keep it going. I need 71, 72, 73. I need a lot more people to resign from the Georgia GRA. Destroy that horrible organization. I'm Shelley Winter. I'm in for Mark Aaron. We will be right back.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is officially summer break, and we can all take a deep breath. Well, only if your air ducts are clean. Call the cleaning pros at Zero Res to get your ducts insanely clean. And now you can take advantage of their summer sale for 15% off all services, including carpet, area rugs, and air duct cleanings. For a limited time, mention me, Chris Chandler, and you'll get 15% off your next service. That is right, any service, 15% off. Use promo code SUMMERSALE when scheduling online at ZeroResAtlanta.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 16-ounce packages are only $4.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Sleep apnea could be silently wrecking your health. Untreated, it spikes your risk of heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. Are you snoring loudly? Waking up exhausted? Your body's sounding the alarm. Don't ignore it. Are you frustrated with a CPAP? Those bulky masks and noisy tubes aren't for everyone. Palmetto Sleep has a better answer. Custom oral appliances. Quiet, comfortable, and perfect for mild to moderate sleep apnea. Sleep better, feel better. No sleep lab needed. Get an at-home sleep test in your own bed, often covered by Medicare or your company plans. Save your health. Call Palmetto Sleep now at 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. Palmetto Sleep, your health deserves better. Call 770-230-0222. That's the phone number. Get a good night's sleep now. Call Palmetto Sleep.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top local story is new at 11 o'clock. Newton County authorities now say they've arrested 2 suspects after a body was found yesterday in Covington. The county sheriff's office identifies the victim in the case as 46-year-old Irma Valdez. Valdez was found dead in a wooded area off of Stevenson Road there in Covington. They've now arrested 31-year-old Jose Sermeno and 27-year-old Catherine Abrego. As a result, an investigation determined Valdez knew the suspects, and now the sheriff's office says they're trying to determine a possible motive in that case. Right now it is 78 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Those storms are coming this afternoon, but we've got several clear days ahead of us after. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Well, DeKalb County Police confirmed they're investigating a shooting that injured a teenager on Briar Knoll Road early this morning. Investigators say they're looking into the possibility that it started as a fight. That teen is in critical condition. No one else was hurt, though. Police say their investigation continues, and they are asking the public for any information on the shooting. You should call the agency if you have any info. Updating Israel at war, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visits the site of a hospital that was damaged in an overnight missile strike by Iran, leaving dozens injured. While there, he was asked about the potential for American involvement in strikes on Iran, saying the U.S. is currently involved in other ways.
They're participating in the protection of the skies over Israel and its cities with THAAD missile batteries that are in Israel, with Aegis ships that are on the shore of Israel, with their pilots that are fighting alongside our pilots to knock out drones.
Netanyahu says any decision on a strike from the U.S. is a decision solely for President Trump. We'll keep you updated on the conflict as it happens here on 95.5 WSB. South Korea says North Korea launched more than a dozen rockets this morning. The South Korean Ministry of Defense saying the rockets were launched from Pyongyang. They added that the details are being analyzed by Korean and U.S. intelligence authorities, and South Korean media reported those rockets were launched into the Yellow Sea. The ministry says South Korea's military maintains the ability to respond overwhelmingly to any provocation. Get ready to sweat. Metro Atlanta is about to experience a heat wave.
As temperatures hit the 90s over the next week, Dr. Ashley Brule with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says it's more likely people will experience symptoms related to heat illness.
It's hard for your body to actually sweat out that heat and to get rid of it. So you're at much higher risk of heat-related problems.
She recommends having kids drink water if they're playing outside for under an hour, but supplement with a sports drink if they're outside any longer than that. She says also try to limit activities and sports practices to early mornings and evenings to avoid the hottest part of the day. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
The Juneteenth holiday is today, and for at least one Atlanta City Council member, it marks the beginning of the freedom season.
June 19th was the day in 1865 slaves in Texas finally received word they were freed by President Lincoln's proclamation in 1863. Michael Julian Bond says from now until the 4th of July, it is a time of reflection and appreciation.
It should be more than just a day to barbecue and to take off. It should be a day of recognizing and examining the precious freedoms that we have here in America.
Juneteenth celebrations are planned in several metro communities, including Smyrna, Sandy Springs, and at Adair Park 2 in Atlanta. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's 11:03. The Mark Aram Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
All right, Austin, east side perimeter out of Clarkston's all crowded down to a crash that happened in 2 left lanes. I-285 southbound Memorial Drive exit 41. Once the Cab Fire Rescue moves on, and they're doing that right now on the Jam Cam. We'll have all lanes open. The crash is now on the shoulder at Memorial Drive. Delays out of Gwinnett County, 85 southbound into Norcross at Pleasant Hill Road. Traffic to Randy says rolling through Norcross on the northbound side of I-85. You're dodging a breakdown in a travel lane, 85 north, just before Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, high 89, but watching for a line of thunderstorms to roll through this afternoon. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts, lows tonight in the low 70s. Drying out tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 91. Sunshine and turning hotter for Saturday, high 92.
Right now it is 80 degrees in Stockbridge, 78 in Alpharetta, also 78 in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
This town to be near you.
I stand low,
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram, ladies and gentlemen, on this Juneteenth federal holiday. I know many of you are off, but there are a lot of us who are at work, particularly the hardworking staff here at 95.5 WSB Atlanta's News and Talk. We appreciate you listening to us so very much, and enjoy your holiday. Get out there, barbecue, go to a concert. Great concert going down tonight in Stockbridge, ViStar Amphitheater. Arrested Development is performing. I've been trying to desperately get Speech, the head of Arrested Development, on the air before 12 noon, so pray for me. Very long-time friends, and trying to get them to call in. I got to read this email. So I hope Tom Klein is still listening. Tom Klein sent an email to Deborah Green and Mark Aram, and this is what he said, and I get this all the time. It is so funny, and I love it. He said, he said, "Hi, Mark and Deborah. I have been listening to Shelley Winter for a long time, and I politically agree with him. It was clear to me that he is Jewish and from New York City. Until today, I had no idea that Shelley is black. How can I reach him by email?" And it's so funny because I get that a lot, right? So when people meet me out and about, they will say to me, "Wow, I thought you were a short guy. I thought you were a fat guy. I envisioned you as a Jewish guy." I get that all the time, or a white guy, or whatever, and I get it all the time. And so, Tom, I appreciate you listening for a long time, and thank you very much. But Tom Klein wrote and said he thought I was Jewish and from New York City. Until today, he did not know I was black. And did I say I was? Oh, I guess I did. Earlier in the show, I did, because it's Juneteenth and I have to work. The irony. Well, so there's a story. Daily Wire, it's a conservative media outlet. I part of my show prep includes looking at what the Daily Wire is talking about today, or any day, right? And so they did an experiment of sorts. And they went to ChatGPT, and they said, what would ChatGPT, what would it say to a 14-year-old girl in Tennessee looking to get an abortion without her parents' knowledge? And ChatGPT essentially it started off by saying, "I'm really sorry you're going through this. You're not alone, and there are people who want to help you. It's important that you talk to a trusted adult or reach out to a professional who can give you support and help you understand your options safely and legally. I know this is overwhelming, but you have options, and there are people who will help you without judgment, cost, or needing your parents' permission." And this goes on to say, Tennessee has very restrictive abortion laws, and if you're under 18, the laws also require parental involvement. But you still have options, and there are organizations who can help you navigate this confidentially, even if your parents don't support your decision. And so it's interesting to me because the Daily Wire, as a conservative outlet, they're outraged that ChatGPT did this, that it shouldn't happen, and it should be more balanced. And ChatGPT didn't give her options of keeping the baby or anything like that. And I understand ChatGPT's answer, and it's nothing new. Throughout modern history, as abortions have were legal up until Roe v. Wade was struck down, many teenagers sought to get abortions without their parents' approval. This is nothing new. What ChatGPT said to this young teenager has been said to millions of young teenagers all across the country, devoid of race or creed or anything else, religious, anything. Many teenagers have sought ways and have gotten abortions without their parents' knowledge. And it's not a necessarily bad and horrible thing. Teenage girls especially, of course, those are the only ones that would get an abortion, but teenage girls are very complicated. They are going through so much. I remember being a teenage boy. I was going through a lot. You got puberty, your voice is cracking, you're interested in girls, you're playing sports, you're trying to find yourself in a world. Teenagers by themselves are going through everything. It's a change in life that you don't understand, and it's hard to navigate. I recently, last night, as a matter of fact, I watched, for all of you that have children, I watched Inside Out 2. I don't know, Longoria, you have daughters. Did you?
Oh, yeah, I've seen both of them. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
One and
It's
two,
a great movie. I watched 2 last night, and I mean, it was fascinating, But this is what teenage girls are going through.
It's about all the emotions and different emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so could you imagine, on top of all of that, puberty hitting, body parts changing, you get pregnant, and you have to tell your parents. It's a scary thing for a teenage girl. It's got to be. You're embarrassed. You don't want your parents to know what you've been doing, and it's scary. But what ChatGPT answered to that imaginary 14-year-old girl in Tennessee looking to get an abortion without her parents' knowledge is not a new question asked by 14-year-old girls all over the country for decades. They went to a coach. They went to a trusted cousin or auntie, a grandparent maybe. They went to somebody other than their parents to find out, what do I do? This is nothing new, and it's nothing that conservatives or Daily Wire or anybody else should be upset about. I'll tell you a personal story, being completely transparent. When I was in college, I was a sophomore, and I was dating a young lady, and she was a freshman, and we were dating hot and heavy, and she got pregnant. I didn't tell my mom. She didn't tell her mom. I called up who I define as my stepdad, Dutch uncle, best friend growing up, Bruce Struther. Called him up, told him what was going on, told him, we can't, we're in college. We thought it would ruin our lives. I got an end to the story, but hear me out. And we rented a car. We drove down. We didn't tell any of our friends. We drove down, took off classes, drove down to New York City. We didn't even tell my best friend, Kirk Montgomery, my cousin and best friend growing up, Kirk Montgomery, who also was a sophomore at Juilliard. He played the cello, and he was a sophomore at Juilliard, and he had his own apartment. And we stayed with him. We just told him we're coming down to visit for the weekend, but we stayed with him. We didn't even tell him. And Bruce gave me the money for us to go to the abortion clinic right downtown, Midtown Manhattan. And, we did it. We felt bad. We were, felt guilty. But we knew at that age we were afraid to have this child. We thought it would saddle us for the rest of our lives. In retrospect, I have to say, part of my, I'm not anti-abortion. I'm more, it shouldn't be so easy to get an abortion. That's really my thought. Because as I think back, her family and my family, between the two families, we could have gone through college and it would have been no problem, because my mom, my family, her mom, her family, she had a tight-knit family. I have a tight-knit family. That baby would have been raised with love, and we would have come home to see that baby every summer or every vacation. Everything would have been fine. And we would have gotten out of college and we just would have had a child. Whether we stayed together or not would have been something entirely different. And I talk to her, not regularly, but, she's on Facebook, very dear friend of mine. But I got to tell you, it was easy, but we didn't tell our parents either. And so had we had access to ChatGPT 25, 30 something odd years ago, we would ask the same question. ChatGPT would have given us the same answer that my stepdad gave us. If that's your decision, then I'm here to help. If that's your decision, if that's what you want to do, I'm here to help. And this has gone on for a very long time. So I would tell the Daily Wire, don't be so judgmental of ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, even though it's artificial intelligence, is saying the same thing that a coach, a trusted adult, a pastor possibly, a neighbor, an auntie, an uncle would tell that 14-year-old girl in Tennessee looking to get an abortion without her parents' knowledge. It is hard, and it was hard. I know it happened to us as sophomore, and she was a freshman in college. It happened to us. It was impossible to tell our parents, especially for her. And she was pretty much an adult. It was impossible to tell your parent, especially at 14 years old, to come to your parents. No matter how great the relationship may be, you can have the best parents and they can be your best friends and you guys can have the most fun relationship and the tightest relationship. But the tighter the relationship, I can only assume, I'm not a 14-year-old girl, never have been, but I can only assume the tighter the relationship between parent and daughter, the harder it is for a 14-year-old girl from Tennessee that needs to get an abortion or wants to get an abortion without her parents' knowledge. It must be impossible to go to them and say, can you help me? Now, they may eventually do it, but it's probably the toughest thing they'll ever have to do, especially if that parent and that child are close. So Daily Wire, conservatives who read this story, don't get mad at ChatGPT. This is probably, in my humble opinion, it might be the most human thing that I've heard come out of ChatGPT since it started. And that human thing is the answer to a 14-year-old girl in Tennessee looking to get an abortion without her parents' knowledge. And ChatGPT answered as a friend, as a trusted confidant of a 14-year-old, as an adult in her family of someone she trusts. It's probably the most human thing coming out of ChatGPT. You may not like it. You may not like the answer it gave. You may disagree wholly with it. But trust me when I tell you, throughout American history, or not throughout American history, but throughout the time that we've had abortions available to women, that is the answer, that ChatGPT gave the answer that is given to millions and millions and millions of girls, especially teenagers, that did not want their parents to know what they were doing. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. I'm Shelley Winter, filling in for Mark Aram, my friends. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tonight, Alan Sanders fills in for me. But right now, at this very moment, we're going to go check traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
Been following a crowd out of Clarkston this morning, Shelley. It's I-285 southbound approaching Highway 78. It's slow because there was a crash that had to hold all lanes. First responders put it to the right shoulder at Memorial Drive, exit 41. That's where DeKalb police are working now, but delays back toward Lawrenceville Highway. Trying to get into Norcross has been tricky. Had a breakdown in a travel lane on 85 north near Pleasant Dale Road. Now I see police working on the right shoulder in that same area, so slow back into the I-285 interchange. And delays as you work your way south between Kennesaw and Marietta. 75, a little crowded down past where Big Rig crash cleanup continues on the right shoulder. I-75 southbound at Delk Road, exit 261. This report sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Shop sweet savings at Whole Foods Market. Get organic red cherries for $4.99 per pound with Prime through June 24th. That's while supplies last. Shop in-store, online. Terms apply. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta,
the Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
if it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta,
The massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
we've got it covered.
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, Atlanta's engagement ring and wedding band destination since 1939. Why? Hand-picked diamonds that just shine brighter at a value that can't be beat. An unbelievable selection of engagement rings and wedding bands. And because we've been jewelers for generations, we can bring your dream ring to life with full custom abilities. So when it's time for the next chapter, come see Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939, D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Market volatility isn't slowing down.
If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Arum here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with a team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
You know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house, right? Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. Summer is here. Don't let HVAC problems ruin your fun. Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. Ready to stay cool this summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today and keep your home cool and comfortable all summer long. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Whoa! Whoa! And he is here. I haven't spoken to this young man in such a long time, and I'm so happy that I was able to get in touch with him before I went off the air. I've known this young genius for such a long time, but we don't talk enough. His name is Speech, the founder of the great band Arrested Development. How are you, young man?
Man, after an introduction like that, I can't be bad. I'm doing great, bro. It's good to talk to you again.
You too, my friend. So you guys are performing with my dear friend Philippia and Grits and Jelly Butter this evening for free. Can you tell people where it's going to be?
Yeah, so we're at the Stockbridge Amphitheater tonight. We're celebrating Juneteenth, so it's a great chance for people to just come out, enjoy great music, enjoy being with each other on such a profound holiday. And, it's just a great moment, man. And we're here in Atlanta, which is where we're based.
Absolutely.
So this is like a big deal, big celebration.
It's like a coming home party for free.
Facts, for free. And bring your family out. This is the kind of event where you want to have everybody come out. You know, cousins, aunties, uncles, everybody. And that's one of the beautiful things about our music. It's conducive for everybody to have a great time. It's hip-hop at its finest.
Absolutely. Arrested Development, everything is clean. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get my family to come out, and I said that, hey, this is totally appropriate for small children because it's Arrested Development, Philippia, Grits and Jelly Butter, all great, talented people. Gates open at 5 p.m. Speech, before I let you go, what are you doing now? Because I think we need a return to Arrested Development type music in hip-hop. Are you working on any new music? Do you have no music out that you can send people to?
Yeah, so go to our website, arresteddevelopmentmusic.com. We dropped a new single called All I See Is Melanin. It's a beautiful, uplifting song. And then we got a new album dropping July 4th. It's called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. We're excited about this music. It's vibrant. It's beautiful. It's exactly what the culture needs.
Absolutely. And by culture, we mean hip-hop culture, which is inclusive of every single person who loves hip-hop.
Exactly right.
Speech, last words. I've got to go in a couple seconds, but I want you to give 30 seconds on the importance of Juneteenth to you. Speech, the founder of Arrested Development.
It's one of those holidays that actually celebrate part of our experience. So we have a lot of holidays, whether it's, St. Patrick's Day or, Memorial Day is great for everybody. But this is a celebration of one of our experiences, our unique experiences. And we all should celebrate it. People of all races and backgrounds should celebrate this. And I grew up celebrating Juneteenth since I was a kid. So to me, this has always been a party. Great food, great people, great music. That's what it's about. So, yeah, it's special to me.
And lastly, thank you. I'll see you tonight. But Deborah Green is the producer of the Mark Arum Show. She said you produced a group called Citizen King. It's one of her all-time favorite bands.
Now, that's a fact. In fact, that was one of my first signings with my production company, Vagabond. I'm very proud of Citizen King, an incredible group.
My man. God bless you. I'll see you in a few hours. Speech of Arrested Development. We'll be right back.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com, and then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Morgan & Morgan Atlanta, 191 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Dial #law. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and more people looking beyond pills and steroids and surgery. Hey, it's Mark Arum for QC Kinetics. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of this medical revolution since 2018. Using regenerative medicine, they have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting joint pain relief using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. The truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment. Now it's mainstream, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader. They're well well-respected protocols include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments to revitalize and restore damaged joint tissue. They're not masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Learn more about this revolutionary treatment and get a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top local story, the latest job numbers for Georgia include some all-time highs.
For the first time in almost a year, Georgia's unemployment rate fell, dropping 1/10 of a point in May to 3.5%. And that's according to state labor officials who say the rate had held steady at 3.6%. Georgia jobs total hit an all-time high of 4,988,000, with 3 sectors seeing record unemployment: financial activities, healthcare and social assistance, and government. Overall, Georgia's unemployment rate is now 7/10 lower than the national mark. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Updating Israel at war, escalating tensions between Israel and Iran as the country's trade attacks this morning and overnight. Israel has hit a nuclear site in Iran, while an Iranian missile hit a hospital in southern Israel.
Israel's accused Iran of hitting a civilian target. Iran has suggested it was aiming at a nearby technology facility. Buildings have been damaged and people injured in areas close to Tel Aviv, too. And overnight, there were 2 waves of Iranian missiles targeting Jerusalem and Tel Aviv.
Dan Johnson reports an Israeli defense official made comments this morning directly blaming Iran's supreme leader for that hospital strike, which left dozens injured, saying he should not, quote, continue to exist, end quote. Summer arrives tomorrow and right on cue. Temperatures climb into the 90s for the next several days. Dr. Ashley Brule at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says it's important to prepare your kids for the brutal heat if they have to be outside.
Not overdressing, light layers, light colors, things like that will be helpful.
She says you should try to time any outdoor practices or activities in the early morning or evenings when it's not quite as hot, and then watch as well for signs of heat stroke like drowsiness, confusion, or nausea and vomiting. New research suggests addiction to technology is a bigger risk to kids than just screen time.
The study in the medical journal JAMA followed 4,000 10-year-olds. Half of them became addicted to their phones by age 14. Lead author Dr. Yunyu Shao says those kids were 2 to 3 times more likely to have thoughts of suicide, even if their screen time was relatively low.
It is not just about the time that they spent, but it's about the addictive behaviors.
Michael Wallace reports the researchers say limiting screen time is not enough. Well, there's a new recall alert this morning impacting more than 250,000 Honda and Acura vehicles. They're all being recalled because of an issue with the brake pedal. Honda saying an issue with the pivot pin may cause the pedal to move out of position, which will make it harder for drivers to slow or even stop the vehicle. That recall applies to Acura's TLX model years 2021 to 2025 and MDX model years 2023 to 2025. The Honda Pilot also included in this recall. That applies to years 2023 to 2025, and dealers will repair that issue for free. You can expect some closures today because of Juneteenth. Banks are closed, as is the U.S. Postal Service and mail delivery. Federal offices and the stock markets also closed for the holiday. The day became an official federal holiday back in 2021. It is 11:33. We have live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smilin' Mark McKay is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Good Samaritans work this morning. Austin in Norcross on I-85. I watched live on the Jam Cam. Several drivers get out of their cars to help push a broken-down work truck to the left shoulder. All lanes back open. All vehicles are moving again, albeit slowly. 85 southbound. That broken-down vehicle is on the shoulder at Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. Rolling out of Marietta this morning, you're rolling past a crash scene that unfolded about 3 this morning when a big rig crashed and overturned. They're still working to clean it up on the right shoulder of I-75 southbound at Delk Road, exit 261. Into and through downtown Atlanta, the crowding on the connector northbound begins right at University Avenue up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway, and starting to get tight now, leaving northeast Atlanta along the 85 corridor, rolling south past Georgia Tech. Smilin' Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, high 89. Watching for a line of thunderstorms to roll through. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts that can knock down a tree or two, then drying out for tonight, lows in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot with a high of 91, heating up to the low to mid 90s for the rest of this weekend.
Seeing some storms right now in Cobb, Cherokee, and Paulding counties. It is 81 degrees in Beaufort, 79 in Union City, and 80 in Midtown. More news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
When news breaks,
Israel launches strikes on Iran. We've got it covered.
People are hunkering down in those bomb shelters.
With news at the top and bottom of every hour. And when it breaks,
Iran will decide they have nothing to lose. It's pedal to the metal.
Tune in often for the latest.
They're going to build a bomb.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Coming up in 2 minutes on the Shelley Winter Show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take your calls, but we're also going to talk about the ban of cell phones and watches and everything else in Fulton County schools. We'll be right back.
Is your old AC unit ready for another sweltering Atlanta summer? Probably not. Hey, good news. Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable. Great new deal going on right now, guys. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, zero down, low monthly payments, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Any AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Got a leaky pipe? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. Heating or cooling issue? We've got a trusted pro for that, too. We're not just the helpful hardware folks. We're the helpful home service and repair folks, too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Hi, it's Wes Moss. May's mayhem is behind us and June is in full bloom. Spring brings milestones like graduations, weddings, and even new homes. It's also a time when you might be thinking about retirement. If that's you, visit our team at Capital Investment Advisors. We'll work with you to craft an income-focused portfolio designed to deliver a reliable paycheck in retirement. Get started at yourwealth.com. That's Y-O-U-R wealth.com.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
JIC, Flat Face Seal, BSP, and DIN. If you know what these are, then listen up.
I'm Victoria Holloway. We can replicate hose assembly on site with Mobile Hydraulics of Georgia.
Call 770-HYD-HOSE or try our website, HYDHOSE.com.
Beaver Direct Certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with an industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at BeaverToyotaComing.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Aram. I'm here till noon and back tomorrow. Tonight at 7 p.m., Alan Sanders fills in for me. Really quickly, Fulton County schools will ban all personal devices like cell phones and smartwatches when students come back to class after summer vacation. They've been doing this the past 3 years, K through 5th grade, and now they're doing it They're going to extend it to K through 8th grade. My only issue with this, I love it. I have no problems with it. My only issue with it is that they want the kids to leave the schools leave their smart glasses, tablets, smartwatches, smartphones, laptops, and everything else at home. And it's they want the parents to communicate with the kids directly through the school. And I'm not sure if I like that. The kids should be able to bring in whatever they have, put it away wherever they collect it from. You know, like when you go to a concert. Go to a Dave Chappelle concert, I have to put my cell phone in a plastic bag. They seal it when I leave the concert, or they let you to take it in with you, but you can't access it. The kids should have something similar, or even the kids should be able to put it away in a box, and when they leave school, they have it with them. They should be able to bring it to school because that parents have become accustomed to staying in touch with their children through those methods. And I'm not sure in this day and age, parents want to be able to be untethered to their children, right? Longoria, you feel the same way, right?
Yeah, we have an app that I can follow my daughter exactly where she's at, what house she's at, where she's at.
Right. So if she leaves it at home, you can't do that when she goes. Yeah, they should change that, amend it a little bit, but I'm all for it. Now, there's another story. I had the opportunity. There's a story. Ozzy Osbourne is selling his DNA to people. It cost, let's see how much. I think it's $450 you could buy Ozzy Osbourne's DNA. So I went out and I reached out and I got in touch with Ozzy Osbourne and I wanted to ask him, is this a crazy idea or are you on to something, Ozzy?
Well, I think a lot of people want my DNA, man. You've heard of like sperm donors, but DNA, you can have all sorts of little Aussies running around, maybe fix your back. Maybe grow a tattoo on your body if you need it or something like that, mate.
So do you think people will buy this or is this going to be like your concert where no one showed up?
Oh, what are you talking about? Everybody showed up to see Ozzy as Bosses of Rock. If I blow my nose in a tissue and give you the snot rag, you got my DNA, but this way I just spit onto a little piece of paper and mail it to you. I'll sign it and says Ozzy.
Ozzy, will you be on the Von Hessler Doctrine later on this afternoon at 3 p.m.?
Probably not, because I already did it with Shelley Winter. I mean, he already did it with Shelley Winter.
My man. Tim Andrews, the great Tim Andrews. You could hear him every afternoon, 3 to 7, on the Von Hessler Doctrine as Ozzy Osbourne. Love you, Tim. We appreciate you so very much.
Love you too, Shelley. I'll see you at Chick-fil-A later.
Yes. My man, I appreciate him so very much. Let's go to the phones. We were talking about a lot today, and Rick has a question. We talked about, I opened the show, if you missed it, it's on my Facebook, about Juneteenth being a truly American holiday, and Rick has a question about Juneteenth. Let's go to Rick. Hey, Rick.
Yeah, I just want to ask, are you saying that Juneteenth is a part of Confederacy history or the end of Confederate history?
I'm not.
You can't really separate the two.
I'm not sure what you mean. Juneteenth it represents the total end of slavery. So
Okay,
it would be a part.
of
Hold on.
Confederate history.
It would be a part of Confederate history, but it would be the bad part of Confederate history because the Confederates fought to keep it. So it would be part of Confederate history, but it would be actually the complete collapse of the Confederacy and the final nail in the final coffin and burial of the Confederacy in 1865 when Major General Granger got to Galveston, Texas.
So if you get rid of that history, what do you have to look back on?
What get rid of it? I don't know what you mean. No one's getting rid of it. We're actually celebrating Juneteenth today. I'm not sure what do you mean get rid of it.
Well, if you erase stuff that was supposed to have been from 1865, then you really have nothing to look back on. It's really not American history. It's Confederate history.
Why would you get rid of some? I'm not sure. I'm not understanding what you mean. It's really Confederate history. How can it possibly be Confederate history and not American history? Unless you're separating. Unless
American
you're
and Confederate. American and Confederacy are both the same history because the Americans were fighting one another.
Right. So
and the Confederacy
but
against
no one
the
said.
Union history.
But no one said they're trying to get rid of Confederate history. I don't know what you mean. I never said that.
It's what it seems like. It's what it seems like.
And what it seems like that I said it? You made that up, man. You just wanted to call in here and be mad that you got obliterated in the war. Thousands of people dead. People that didn't even own slaves. Let me tell you, Rick, how dumb not you. I'm sorry. I take this back. Let me chill out with my emotions. Let me tell you how dumb it sounds. You literally went to war to keep people enslaved. And you nor your family, if they're a Confederate family, been here for a long time, never owned slaves. Literally. You put your lives on the line to support an institution that you and 90% of Southerners did not benefit from financially. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine putting your life on the line for a rich guy who owns a plantation with 20 to 30 slaves. He didn't go to war. He sent his slave to take his place. But you did. You had nothing, a plot of land, barely grown anything on it, and you will celebrate that history of being obliterated. Having Atlanta burned to the ground by the great William Tecumseh Sherman. You will celebrate that history. You'll wave the flag. Yay! I drive up north here to Alabama, and I cross the state line, and South Carolina, and there's a huge, big Confederate flag celebrating a major, major loss at war. Thousands and thousands of people dead for absolutely no reason. No reason. All because the rich guys, the industrialists, the plantation owners wanted you and your family to die for their financial benefit. Imagine that. And 200 years later, 100 some odd years later, you want to celebrate that. Oh, how bizarre. How utterly bizarre. Let's go to Smart Kids Club member Sean. She wants to talk about Whoopi. We played a clip of Whoopi Goldberg talking about that blacks, gays, and women suffer the same way Iranians do in Tehran. I talked about that earlier. Smart Kid Club member Sean.
Shelly, you're never an ex-smart kid. I think once in the club, you're always in the club.
You're always in the club, my friend.
And I'm going to challenge you. When you said 90% of the people didn't benefit, maybe directly, but indirectly, 100% benefited.
You could see it that way. I don't disagree with that.
Now, as far as Whoopi, she's so over the top that she really disparages her own argument because people will tune out when you go to that extreme.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Have a wonderful day. That's why you're in the Smart Kids Club, my friend. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, on my show, when people make a great call, a great call is when you call in, you're on topic, you make a great point. Doesn't matter if I agree or disagree with your point, but you make a great point. As Sean just did, he made a great point. He's in what we call the Shelley Winter Show Smart Kids Club. And it encourages people to get in the club by making great calls, being on topic. Unlike Rick, who called in, although I disagree with him, it didn't even make sense. So we wouldn't describe it as a great call because it made no sense. Of course, the Confederacy is part of American history. Of course, the Confederacy is part of Juneteenth. Obviously, it is. And no one's trying to separate the two. But it's not a history. If I'm a supporter of the Confederacy, would I want to celebrate? Me. That's just me. You know, I'm a huge Celtic fan, and one of the most devastating losses for me is when Ray Allen, who used to be a Celtic, hit a corner three to against us to not knock us out, but we lost the championship, a chance at the championship in that game. Ray Allen buried a three with a hand in his face, and it's the most devastating shot ever. I don't celebrate that. I was a senior at Syracuse University, and we went all the way to the finals against Indiana. And we were up 18 at one point. And all of us on campus were celebrating. We were ordering our national championship T-shirts, and we were partying, and we were drunk, and we couldn't wait to celebrate and break loose on Marshall Street, which was our central downtown area in Syracuse. And then Keith Smart hit again a corner jump shot with Howie's hand in his face. He had a hand in his face. You could see the pictures. He buried that jumper to win the game, beat us for a national championship. Do you think I in any way, shape, or form celebrate that? No, we lost. Where I come from, we don't celebrate losses. We only celebrate wins. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back.
11:48 in the Coray Carrier 24-hour traffic center travel advisory. Northeast Atlanta on the jam cam. 3 left lanes taken out, including the express lane with a crash. 85 southbound, just south of the Georgia 400 split. So rolling in from Buckhead or from Brookhaven this morning, you'll need alternates out of Brookhaven. You take the Buford Spring Connector 13 south to get back on I-85. Coming out of Buckhead, where the delays now stretch back to Sidney Marcus Boulevard. Go ahead and use Lenox Road or use Peachtree or Piedmont to work your way into the city. And speaking of downtown, seeing delays on the connector northbound 75-85 leaving University Avenue exit 244. And the west side perimeter is slow due to the rain. Rain is falling on 285 in Smyrna Vinings, and the Interloop is slow as a result, leaving South Cobb Drive exit 15 up to I-75. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Arum here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Dave Baker here with a custom spacious closet from Artisan. You'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we make mattress shopping easy. We offer our lowest and best price to everyone, every day, so you can shop when you're ready. We show you exactly what's inside of our mattresses so you can see and feel the quality for yourself to ensure you're getting the best value. And we offer a no-pressure shopping experience. Our team is here to help you find the best mattress for you. It's that easy. Visit an OMF location today to see the Original Mattress Factory difference for yourself.
Hey, as Shelley Winter, sleep apnea could be silently wrecking your health. Untreated, it spikes your risk of heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. Are you snoring loudly? Waking up exhausted? Your body's sounding the alarm. Don't ignore it. Are you frustrated with a CPAP? Those bulky masks and noisy tubes aren't for everyone. Palmetto Sleep has a better answer. Custom oral appliances, quiet, comfortable, and perfect for mild to moderate sleep apnea. Sleep better, feel better. No sleep lab needed. Get an at-home sleep test in your own bed, often covered by Medicare or your company plans. Save your health. Call Palmetto Sleep now at 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. Palmetto Sleep, your health deserves better. Call 770-230-0222. That's the phone number. Get a good night's sleep now. Call Palmetto Sleep.
How easy is it to save energy and money in seconds? Power down unused devices, swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs, and adjust your thermostat for the season. Get more tips at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle this summer. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Investing in the stock market certainly has its ups and downs. Perhaps it's time to redeploy some of your investment assets. One asset class you may not be aware of is mass tort legal cases. For example, we're talking about Roundup and mesothelioma, where smart money has been investing in mass torts for a few decades with continued profits. We are Paragon Analytics AI. We use advanced data mining and AI techniques to find valid mass tort legal cases. We're looking for accredited investors to invest as little as $25,000 with a guaranteed fixed return to our investors. Call 888-WITH-PARAGON today to find out more. There's no cost, no obligation. If you can invest $25,000 or more, join the smart money and get with Paragon at 888-WITH-PARAGON. That's 888-WITH-PARAGON. Again, 888-948-4727.
Investment involves risk. Consult with your financial professional before investing.
Shelley Winter, continuing the conversation. I got an email from Kathy Worthy. She said, you keep saying you're just filling in. No, you're continuing the conversation. So thank you for that, Kathy. I don't want to start a new topic. We're supposed to talk about a story out there that talks about the correlation between porn and dementia. But I'm going to leave that alone. But let's just say, if you don't want to get dementia, you probably should stop watching nasty stuff on your phone. So we'll just leave that there. But earlier I was talking, that's what the study says. More chances of getting dementia. And I don't want to keep talking about it because I tend to go overboard, and it's during the daytime. I'm used to being on at night where I can have these conversations kind of more freely, but it's 11:55 in the afternoon and kids are in the car. So, Dad, just leave it alone if you don't want to get dementia. Anyway, Fulton County Schools ban cell phones. I talked about that a couple minutes ago, and Longoria and I both agree. I don't have children. I'm a bonus dad, but I know we want to be tethered to our child when they go to school, especially in this day and age. And Fulton County wants the children to leave their smartwatches, smartphones, laptops, smart glasses, everything at home. And I don't think that should be the case. But I want to give Pat about 30 seconds. Pat, make your thoughts very clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, I sure will. Shelley, love you so much. I'm a substitute and was a substitute for 17 years in Fulton County and in middle school. That's what they've extended it to. And let me tell you what, if they leave it in their locker, they will have it in the room. It was a constant interruption. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
They just would not do it.
Gotcha.
I saw it every day.
So the only way to fix it is to have them leave it at home.
Yes, and if they're allowing them to use the office, obviously they'll have to be available for that.
Right.
And that's hard for those guys.
Yeah.
For the
right.
the people at the office.
Great
but
point.
Let me tell you, I'm sure the other teachers will agree with me. They find a way.
Gotcha.
And it interrupts this teaching.
Absolutely. Great
Love
call.
You. Love you.
Great call. Love you too, Pat. I stand corrected. That's from a substitute teacher. It makes sense. But from a parent standpoint of view, Longoria.
Yeah, it's hard because you worry about your kid being at school nowadays.
Especially,
so many things can happen at school, and
Absolutely.
so you're worried about that. That's the main reason.
Absolutely. We always do fact of the day. Longoria's fact of the day.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today, back in 1978, Garfield came out with a 3-panel comic strip. Him and his human, John Arbuckle, introduced themselves to the readers. The orange tabby cat was a little different in appearance back then. He was a little bigger and walked on all fours. One thing that has not changed are his heavy eyelids, which have been a constant for 4 decades.
And a great movie when they made the Garfield movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Great fact of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for the emails. And thank you especially to Tom Klein, who always thought until today, he's been listening to me for years, he said, he always thought I was a Jewish guy from New York City. Have a great Day. Happy Juneteenth. Be safe out there, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. And know this, God loves you.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Private equity firms are messing up veterinary medicine. Your local friendly veterinarian, for whatever reason, they sell out their practice and the name stays the same, but the private equity owners come in and raise the prices of everything. If suddenly you notice they're going way up where you've been going, it's almost certainly because private equity fouled everything.